Welcome back, everybody. I broke the last video at splitting the cases on the 064. I wanted to take my time. The other video was getting kind of long. And I thought to myself, well, let's break it there and let's do a separate video on splitting the crankcases. So today's video, let's take the crankcase apart, examine the crank, top end, piston, all that stuff, and see what we got. And then we know where we're going. So let's get right into it. 064 crankcase disassembly. Okay, let's keep going. Man, was this thing dirty. That's good. That means it hasn't been apart in 40 years. I bet you this saw's never been apart. That's an original gasket underneath. It was dirty like it's never been apart. So, you know, clean saw, but dirty in places where you can't get to unless you pull it down. So that's usually a good sign. Okay, let's take these case bolts apart. There should be 5 of them. We shall soon see. I already noticed a few interesting things on this saw. We'll talk about them, how they relate to timing. And you're going to say, what? You can tell port timing based on bottom end. Not exactly, but I can tell a few things about the saw based on the port timing. So we'll see. There you go. And I actually think there's going to be one more in here, potentially. Oh yeah, and it's full. My allergies are not happy tonight. It's been smoky and just not nice the last week or so. It's real smoky out still. Not complaining though, could be worse. The smoke could be, you know, right outside my front door. Is that all of them? There's one more right here. I think there's another one still buried. Hopefully these thunderstorms are going up north too, because, well, I think I got this out of there. Because we just got probably 1.5 inches of rain, which is quite a bit for Manitoba. Okay, I got my case splitter here. If you don't have one, buy it. This one's old. I've had it for years. The end is absolutely smashed on it. I've been saying for years I'm going to make a new one. And the end out of some drill rod, and I've never done it. So there you guys go. Story of my life. Okay. I just dropped a screw on the floor. We don't want to do that. Okay, let's see if we can get these circlips out. Usually you can pop them out like this, and then you just stick your thumb over the hole, and ones that have been in this long are usually, let's try the other side, they're usually quite difficult to get out because they've been in there for so long. The openings are upside down. See, and you can't spin these because they get full of carbon. So they can be difficult, but just stick your thumb over them. There you go. I often like to use the OEM circlips. I've never, and I will say this, friends, I've had circlips come out. I've never had circlips from any piston from Wolf Creek come out. So take that for what it's worth. I don't even think about it anymore. Back in the old days though, if I dropped the circlip, there we go, this is going to come right out. If I dropped the circlip and I didn't have another OEM one, guess what? Oh, look how nice that is. That's clean. If I didn't have another circlip, I would go to the dealer and go buy a new one because I wouldn't use OEM circlips. I've lost at least one saw to a circlip popping out. So take that for what it's worth, just my experience. Okay, friends. Oh, I never took this OEM gasket. This is an original gasket. I can tell just by looking at it. It's an off green color like they used to be. I'll just rip it off because you guys know me. I'm probably not going to have a gasket in this saw. Just want to pop it off enough that we can get the case apart. There you go. Okay, so take one of these. The key is, friends, I'm going to say this right now, make sure it's level. Okay? Level with, there's a level spot on the saw, line up the top, make sure it's level. I'm going to back you guys out just a bit. I'll turn the light off here. There you go. Back you guys out just a bit so you can see a little bit better. Okay, if it's not level, it won't come apart. Okay, just making sure there's no remaining screws. And she's coming apart nicely. If you got a hammer, use a hammer. Just whack it with a screwdriver. Something soft. It can be a piece of wood. There we go. Again, if you don't have one of these and you're going to work on saws, just buy one. It's probably one of the only tools. So these bearings, no, this saw's been done. These bearings have been replaced for sure. If I had my specs, they're SKFs, but look, the seal's still in them. Little noisy, not horrible though. So there you go, that answers the question. Can you leave the seal in? Well, somebody did about 40 years ago, and here's the saw. Okay. Now friends, notice something. Notice how small this crankshaft is. Notice how little space there is in the case. You see that? See how there's no room beside it? And the weights on this crank, how they fill it completely, that tells you something. Now those of you that port probably knows, that's your case capacity, friends. We talk about case capacity. We know right now, oh, this might be a saw that I have to, oh, there we go. Sometimes I have to spread this tool apart on a bigger saw. That's your case capacity, friends. More case capacity, usually. The saw will usually have more intake timing out of the box because it has a bigger case to fill. Just trying to level this up. Okay, less case capacity, less timing, generally. Ooh, she's fighting me there. Don't be scared if it pops like that. And if it won't go, hit it with a mallet right here. This thing's not fighting me at all. I'm actually surprised. Okay, so less case capacity, less intake timing. Okay. Harvey, the Iron Horse, he told me for years that a lot of these old Stihls, oh, this is a nice crankshaft. I might reuse this, friends. I'll just touch up that end. See that? Although I could probably weld that and then touch it up on my lathe. We'll revisit that. Okay, check your rod. Zero play, no discoloration, and it's just smooth. Okay, that's what you want. Again, the top here, no discoloration. If this was blue, friends, on the top end, if it's blue, I may reuse it. I have many saws that have a blue rod on the top, and they've been going for years. Again, if it's your saw, do what you want. If it's a customer saw, you may want to tell them the goods so that if it does blow up, at least you told them. If it's blue on this end really good, I usually won't use it. Okay. Now, this case got broken right here. Like I said before, that doesn't hurt anything. I may try and repair it. I got an email a few days ago And a fella, I'll mention his name when it comes, but a fella said he had a case for us on the channel. Okay, so with any luck, we won't have to reuse this. If we do, well then I'll have to, it's broken here and here. I'll have to try and press this back together carefully, because I'd rather have that on there than break it off, because then it'll look funny. All right, we'll break it off here. But if we have to, we will, right? It's still a good usable case. And that's the story of the saw, and it is what it is. Okay, so our cases aren't bad. Again, friends, plastic bearing races. This saw has them right there. Okay, that's an OEM bearing with a plastic race. I don't think they had plastic races when this saw came out. So my guess is this saw's been rebuilt once already. But a long, long time ago. Okay, and again, Stihl this age. Have a good look at the bottom end. Make sure the paint's not coming off. Remember that 034 I was trying to help a buddy out years ago? It had paint issues, and we rebuilt it and made it all nice, and then I ran it and it felt funny. Felt lazy, and then I realized that the paint came off the cases, and it scored the cylinder pretty good, and just, you know. Okay. Again, look how small this case is. Pretty cool. Now, if we were going to flow this thing, I would probably flow these corners. Okay. Because the transfers, it has to go up and into these transfers. Now, you guys know what we're going to do here. I want to give this saw a healthy dose of intake timing. Now, I've never done one of these, but I ran that one at Bucket Stock at the boys there. At, what's their company called? I think it was Tried and True. Their business is called. Hopefully I got that right. We ran their 064, and that thing was a monster. So, I know what these things are capable of. I know what I can do with a cylinder like this. This is a... looks exactly like an 044 and 046. In fact, friends, if I didn't know any better, I would think this is a 046 cylinder. It's in Malay 52ZN19. So there you go. Same type of lettering as Husky has on their cylinders. Really nicely shaped intake. It's got a little bit of the Drake intake on it right here. See those factory ears? We might increase that. Now, there is some wear to the cylinder, so I have to decide what I'm going to do. Look at that nice combustion chamber. Now, let's look at the piston. You can tell this saw has some time on it. Let's look at the design of this piston. Now, if you look at it, it's really easy to kind of know how this thing's going to wear. Wrist pin is below center, or kind of in the center of the piston, right? Which means all the weight is at the top. Okay, you can feel this piston, it's top heavy. 2 rings. Those rings are nicely broken in. They're really sharp. You notice that on a broken in ring. Look at how a ring that's broken in looks, friends. Let's see if we can get it to... See how it's sharp? It's flat right to the edge. That's why you'll hear me say sometimes, this saw's not broken in, the rings aren't broken in. Well, if you look through the exhaust port, you can see your rings, and then you kind of know. Okay. If I had to, I would reuse this piston. It's definitely got some wear on it, though. You can see typical Stihl where the pin is lower than center. You tend to get a lot of wear on the skirt. This one's not horrible. And I'm not slagging Stihl. Friends, I'll be honest. My ported Stihls, pound for pound, when I port a Stihl, it makes more power than a ported Husky that would be of the same size. I'm not even kidding. I get mad power out of Stihls, and they last. Okay, so we already know what we can do to this. Look at the size of the windows. They're pretty good size. I ordered a Meteor piston and a highway top end, so we may just dig right into that and port the highway top end. Now, if I open up the transfers real big, like we often do, and I like that set of moves, it really works. I haven't met a saw that doesn't go nutso after we do that. Okay? If you widen these transfers, you're increasing case capacity. Okay? Which means I want to make sure I increase the intake timing to match the case capacity. Okay? I don't know where this is going to be stock. We'll probably end up like 152 on this saw. I'll keep the intake timing sane. I don't want to overdo it. Maybe even 150. We'll have to see how it times. Friends, if you over intake a saw like this, you end up with a saw that spits back. I want this thing to be zippy and idle well and start well. That's a sign of good intake velocity. I don't want it to spit back and load up. Okay. So I've learned a lot about this saw just from looking. These cases are so tiny. So what I'll have to do, friends, I will take all this stuff. I'll mix up a new batch of cleaner in my ultrasonic, and we'll throw all this stuff in. She was a 2-bag disassembly, and we'll go from there. Handle looks to be in good shape. And the cylinder's not bad, friends. It really isn't. I may see, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the wrist pin size is. Looks like a 12 millimeter to me. We may look at doing a piston swap, but I mean, all these parts are available at Wolf Creek, so there's really no need to monkey around. And I really like that combustion chamber. It's got a fairly wide, nice, flat squish band. Looks good. There's your exhaust port. I don't think this thing's ever been ported. Sometimes you open a good running saw up, friends, and you find out somebody's already been in there. This one's stock, though. You can see the lines, so we got a stock cylinder here. Okay, well, now we know. So the plan will be, I'm probably going to run the stock crank, clean this up, and see if we can make something of it. New piston, and we'll redo everything. New bearings, seals, gaskets. We'll make this into a brand new saw. Okay, friends. Well, pretty happy with what I saw there. Nothing's damaged, and I think we can make a go of this saw. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and I'll see you guys in a couple days. Later.